always true. All heroes need to wear a mask. Hey everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's on the Two. Welcome back if this is the beginning of your start for the DC Stargirl Season 2 episode reviews here on ActionX's What's on the Two. It has been a very long time since Stargirl Season 1 wrapped. I think it was almost a year ago, exactly, since we wrapped Season 1. I mean, our coverage of Season 1. I think it was that long ago, like, damn. I'm old. This pandemic has been going on a lot longer than I was expecting it to be. I missed you all. It's been a hell of a year. A lot has happened to me. A lot happened to What's in the Two, but especially, it's been a long year of waiting for Season 2. Pandemic-wise, and then just all sorts of things. This show was something special last year, and this premiere really got us back into that world in a very small, different way. It wasn't as grand as Season 1's premiere. Well, the series premiere obviously has to be this grand big thing to like hook people in. This definitely felt like more like a somber start to hopefully what's going to be a crazy season. It's the calm start before the raging storm. They're not teasing us they're teasing us a lot, but not too much, if that makes sense. Also, I gotta make sure my mic is working. But I really love this premiere. I think this premiere did the job done. Like, we're back in this world. It's been 6 months since the finale, like the final scene of the finale. So it's been 6 months. A lot has happened with our characters, in all sides of the world, and now that we're finally here, beginning the Season 2 storyline, I'm very excited to see what they have in store for the next 12 weeks. But with that being said, let's go for the butchered recap and talk about this premiere for Season 2 of Stargirl. So we began weirdly enough, for some reason, I looked and I was like, am I watching Doom Patrol? Like, is this like a tease? Like, no, we're in the Doom Patrol Season 3 premiere? Because this opening scene had a little bit of a Doom Patrol vibe. And ironically, we're going to be doing every Doom Patrol Season 3 episode review next month. So cool. So I was like, am I watching the right show? Like, did I actually click on the nurse show? And like, no, this is Stargirl. And then it was... Then the title card playing like, oh, this is still Stargirl. But this was very different. Like, the opening scene was not what I expected. They didn't even start with the CW, like the cliche, the cliche CW logo, then the Stargirl stab playing. They didn't even play that version. They didn't play that. What happened was there's a girl who's getting punished in a nearby town, Nebraska. A small girl getting punished because she did something bad at a store and she's not able to go to her neighbor's birthday party, so she has to literally sit on the front porch and just watch the other kids have fun. And then all of a sudden, this other mysterious weird boy appears out of nowhere and tells her, hey, let's go to the party, let's go play. And she's like being responsive, like, I can't, I'm on punishment. And he's like, no, come, let's go. And it's like, oh my god, this creepy voice reminds me of that snake from my dream when I was a kid. Have I ever told that on a podcast? I don't think I did. I don't think I did. But so the girl gets tempted. They head over to the other side. She's really tempted to go inside, but she's really still not feeling it. But the boy pressures her to at least take one of the presents that was meant for the girl. Which is also, kids, just letting you know, don't steal presents. It's not yours. I know. I've had instances where I cried that I wanted a present. I didn't get one. I understood their pain, but don't steal presents. Don't. But she gets filled into the temptation. She steals a present, and while she's opening it, and again, I felt like, am I watching? Is this a sneak peek for Child's Play? Well, not Child's, but Chucky for Sci-Fi. Also, we're doing a review series for that. Well, not a review series. We're doing first impression in October. More pimping out my stuff. And I was like, am I on the wrong show again? And no, it's still Stargirl. And she gets a little bit of a not like a jump scare, but more like a weird, creepy scene. And then eventually the doll turns back to like a normal doll. And then the boy suddenly becomes demonic. And he's like, you did a bad thing. And he put up this crystal, this emerald. I really don't know. I need George here for this to give me the rundown. But I'll probably text him after this and ask him all the stuff about. I'm assuming this is Eclipso, which is one of the big bads for this season. This season has a lot of big bads. There's a lot of storylines going to happen this season. I'm just thinking, are they really going to squeeze all this into Season 2? I'm a little scared. But despite that being the case, eventually we jump back over to the present day, where Courtney is continuing her Stargirl duties. She's patrolling the town of Blue Valley, and the only thing happening is a raccoon suddenly knocks over a trash can. That was basically it. Yeah, Blue Valley's been pretty much at peace since the ISA incident. Things have been quiet, but the JSA, they're still around. They're still patrolling each and every weekday, just hoping something will happen, and nothing happens. And I'm honestly not surprised. And also, I'm very happy they decided to go with this storyline, that the big thing that they did is over. And obviously we know as the viewers, like, yes, something big's going to happen. Yes, they're going to have to be superheroes again. We know that. But for them, it's been 6 months of just Courtney just parading around like, we are the JSA. There's still some loose ends we need to find, and they're going to pop up eventually, and we need to be ready. And everyone else is like, we're at peace, man. Well, we can take a little bit of a break from the superhero business. Honestly, I know it's Courtney just trying to spend time with her friends, but also mostly trying to just be Stargirl and finishing off Starman's final duties as the JSA members and all that sorts. But she's not really seeing like the bigger picture here. Like, she's so consumed with the ideology of being a superhero that it's starting to consume her life. So when we get to the end of the scene, where like everyone's just like, I just want to go home. Like, we could pick this up again another time. It's like if something does happen, call us. We'll be there. But until then, we're fine taking a break. Because, I mean, here's the other thing. This isn't New York City or, LA or anywhere in the world where they're a local heroes. And yes, they saved the day one time, but it's like, I don't know. There's no big threats. There really isn't. And there's not crime in Blue Valley. I'm like, is there even a police department in Blue Valley? I mean, if there's no crime, do we even need a police department, or is it county sheriff? Here's the thing, I don't do small towns. I really don't. So I apologize if I'm pretty much a novice here. I apologize. So I believe from there, yes, everyone heads off home. Courtney heads back to her house to review more JSA files on other big villains out there that are potential threats. And damn, it's been so long. Pat, I forgot about his name. Pat shows up. He asks Courtney, "Are you seriously up at 4 a.m. in the morning just looking up JSA file?" And she's like, "Yes. I won't lie to you, but I am." And she just asks him this question, "What about this villain? What about this villain?" It's like, "Oh, Flash took him to another timeline." Like, and then this other one was defeated, and it was like, "Oh my God!" It's like, Jesus Christ, these are so awesome references. But at the same time, like, yeah, these villains are done. They've been done, and no one news popped up, which is interesting because like the one thing I loved about Stargirl is they don't do villain of the week. They just let the main villain and their story just take over everything, and that's what I love about the show. So it is still surprising, like, yeah, there isn't a new villain out there for these guys to fight. And also, this is another Earth, so it's like, yeah, you could technically say, like, oh, the other superheroes, their supervillain counterparts are on these Earth. And this Earth, it's relatively peaceful. It's just the JSA and the ISA. That's basically it. So, again, past this telling Courtney, respect these peaceful times. We live in a time of peace. Just, you can still be Stargirl, but that doesn't mean your life has to be put on hold. Which is mostly every original 2000 superhero movie where it's like, okay, movie done, we don't do anything, movie 2, we're back up. That's basically it. That's what Pat wants her to do, but she's not listening, and she wants to continue being Stargirl, and she's just waiting for, like, when's that big thing that everyone's going to be on the case for, and we're going to be right back into it. But anyway, next day comes, and Pat's planning this big family road trip to Yellowstone National Park, and it's going to be a big get together for the family. It's a bit of a break just to get away from everyone, and obviously, of course, the parents are excited. The kids are not, and also Pat's son, which, oh my God, it took me half the last review series to remember his name, and once again, I forgot. Why am I not surprised? But he wants to get into the family business. He wants to get into the superhero biz. He wants to be the next Strife. Pat's like, no, you're definitely not ready, kid. You're definitely not. You're just transitioning out of middle school. You're not entirely ready to be a superhero. So it's like we're gonna put a hard pass on that right now. Hard pass. Eventually, Courtney and her mom gets wheeled into the things. It becomes a family civil war, and even the dog ends up being a tiebreaker. I'm like, I miss this dog. I miss this little bulldog. I miss him so much. Or it's a pit bull. I forgot. I'm not really good with my dog. With specific figuring out what a dog breed is. I'm not the best yet. I really am. But eventually, the Yellowstone Park trip gets went over. Obviously, of course, their parents are obviously going to go on the trip no matter what. So this one didn't even matter really. Everyone else is kind of like doing their own things, like picking up seeds for their own storylines throughout the season. Beth is still trying to fix Dr. Midnight, the original one. I forgot his character's name for a second. His real name, not his alias. Something's off with Beth's parents though. They're acting a little bit more distant than normal, which obviously curious, and which makes Beth curious, and also she just looks for her mail and finds a petition for divorce, meaning her parents are about to get divorced. And she's obviously not happy about it whatsoever, because on top of losing a self-conscious AI that actually she developed a friendship with, she's also potentially splitting up her parents, which is all sorts of not good. Damn, it's also been so long. It's like, oh my god, I forgot half their names. Rick. I should just remember Rick Grimes just applies to this show. Rick's driving through the forest. He finds a nearby collapsed wreckage path for the woods, and obviously we know it's Grundy. It's like literally like it's obviously it's Grundy, but he's a little bit off of that. He's not totally surprised by it. He's not like being like oh my god, he's back alive. Like no, something's more is off. More is at question here. And something that I really wanted from last season's prediction is coming true. I wanted to see Yolanda kind of deal with the ramifications of killing Brainwave, and we're finally seeing that. She heads to a church building. She heads to a church to confess, but she doesn't really confess. She just stands there in silence to kind of just at least be at peace somewhat. But then she starts having flashbacks with Brainwave from the season 1 finale, and she thinks Brainwave's going to come out the other door, but it's not. It's just the priest. But we're really starting to see like Brainwave left something in her, like an imprint. They're like, you killed me, but I'm not going to leave you. It's scary. I really want to see where this is going to go. I really want to. Eventually, Yolanda and Courtney meet up. Courtney is, of course, obviously bummed out. They're like, I don't want to go on this self-pay family vacation in a lake house for 2 weeks with free food, free activities. I am so upset because I don't want to be a superhero in a peaceful town. See how stupid that sounds? Good. See, this is why I'm not a superhero. Yolanda's not really into the conversation that much because she's wrapped up in her own thoughts. Eventually, Courtney does ask her what's up, and thankfully, Yolanda doesn't do the typical, like, I'm fine, just forget about it, and then another thing pops in. She actually is honest with her, saying, like, I'm still having visions of Brainwave. It's been so many months now, but I'm still having visions of him, and I can't get them out of my mind, and it's tearing me apart. Like, am I worthy to be Wildcat? Since I think one of the key criteria to be a superhero or someone is to have this ideology that heroes can't kill. And of course, that becomes a little bit more questionable in this day and age, where like we've gotten movies and TV shows where we've seen superheroes kill other supervillains or other villains, and sometimes it's talked about and sometimes it's just part of their character. So for Yolanda to have this conversation is very interesting, since in this world, is killing a supervillain really that questionable? Because I mean, Icicle was a powerful friend. He's killed so many people. I am not surprised that, hey, we should maybe consider, taking him out for good. And they did. But, well, I mean, yeah. I mean, if I was like, did I talk about Icicle for a second? Like, no, I'm talking about Brainwave. Yeah, that makes sense. So that's the thing that I was paying attention for. And Courtney doesn't really give her, like, the answer that she's looking for. It's like, I wasn't there, so I can't say yes or no, because I wasn't there to properly assess the situation, see like if there was another way out of it. But again, as typical TV dramas go, this conversation gets forgotten as they look to their right and they find Icicle Junior back in town. He's basically back in town after an entire school year away, and Courtney obviously wants to talk to him. Yoda's like, no, you're part of the reason why his dad is dead. It is not smart for you right now to go up to him and talk to him. I'm presuming also he doesn't know she's Stargirl, so it's also like, yeah, that's not really also the smartest move in the world right now to go talk to him. But so Courtney agrees, and like they both walk off to school. I believe, yes. Also, Pat heads over to the garage. He's getting preparations ready to like for his 2 weeks away. He needs to find someone to take over the shop. He contacts a local tow truck driver to kind of take over. He's a bit interested. But he's like also curious, like what's behind that door. And Pat's like, don't worry about it. Like, this will be a partnership. You'll take over for 2 weeks, and then when I come back, the partnership is over. And he's like, sure. Shakes hand and is like, I'm sure nothing bad will happen to this. And also, you should really put a lock on that door pad, for the love of God. I believe, we head back to the school. Well, there wasn't really a big villain. This was mostly a character piece episode. It's like, there's no fighting, there's no villains. Well, there's fighting, but like, there's no villains. We're at the school. Everyone's just getting ready for finishing up their last day. Rick's heading out of a class, and he finds out his teacher is accusing him of plagiarism. Well, not plagiarism, cheating off a test, because Rick's like, you did so good. I don't believe it at all. And she's like, you're going to retake last year's test. So to prove that you were cheating, because if you failed this one, that means you're cheating. And Rick's like, you know what? I saved the town. I saved the world, basically. I don't need to deserve this crowd. You can fail me all you want. I'm going to go to lunch. No, he doesn't go to lunch. He just heads out of school, as always. At the cafeteria, Courtney's still talking about a potential other ISA villain that could be a potential future threat for them to do as it deals with time travel. And I'm just thinking, oh my god, we're gonna get another reverse flash, aren't we? I can't deal with it anymore. I can't. I'm done. They regroup with Beth, and it's kind of just like low pickings, like in terms of conversation. They're not really into it that much because they're all not in the right headspace right now to be doing this. They're not really. And they notice the daughter, of Tigress and Sportsmaster approaching them, Artemis. And obviously for them, they know, like, yeah, she's a ISA legacy. So this is like, okay, she could be a potential threat too. Like, she might want revenge on us. Maybe she does know we're the JSA. And she gets into, like, kind of like a fighting position, and Courtney's thinking, like, she knows this is it, we're gonna fight, and Courtney easily takes her down, but it's just a caught off balance. As it turns out, all Artemis was doing was returning a stick to another team member, so Courtney gets in trouble for it and gets into the principal's office, ironically. At the principal's office, even though there was a lot of praise for Courtney, like, she's found her clique, she's found her groove in school, she seems to have acclimated pretty well despite her friend choice, and I'm like, dude, you don't disrespect her friend. You don't disrespect that at all. But regardless, despite that, he does have some more bad news to give her. Apparently, because she's been so focused on being Stargirl, she hasn't been studying a lot. She's failed a couple classes. So if she really wants to graduate on time, she has to attend to summer school. And they're like, fuck. We had a whole vacation plan, and this girl just ruined everything. So she's got no choice but to stay in town for the summer school. And everyone's just like, fuck. So much for this trip. Obviously, Courtney's mom is a bit more angered the fact that you picked Stargirl over your studies, and now that affected your family, and now we can't go out because we can't leave without you. So she's incredibly disappointed by that. Even Pat asked her, like, again, why are you doing this? Like, we were in a time of peace, nothing was happening, and now you just ruined a perfectly fun family vacation to be had on. So he punishes her by still taking away Stargirl for 2 weeks. So no Stargirls, no costumes, and it's just like, great. It's a great way to save on money and budgeting. Good job, CW. But everything else looks the same. I kid around with that. I believe, so Pat heads back to the auto body shop, and surprisingly, the dude finds it. I initially my thought was he's gonna be some sort of like agent or something that's going to destroy Stripe, so like we don't have a reason to have Stripe for the entire season until the finale, so we can save on budgeting. But no, he was just tinkering. He was just like, I can improve on this model. I'll be back. I'll get my tools. We'll make this bad boy even better. And Pat's like, oh geez, we just found our comic relief of the season, didn't we? But what can you do? I believe do they do any JSA stuff today? I don't believe they do. I think they just all head back. I mean, Courtney heads back alone back home. But she runs into Icicle Junior again, and well, not Icicle Junior. That's not his real name. I'm just calling him Icicle Junior because I call Brainwave Junior, Brainwave's son, lastly Brainwave Junior, and I didn't even know his name. So I'm like, I'm gonna do it again this season until I remember. I apologize. Oh, his name is Cameron. I forgot. I remember now. Cameron. It was with a C. So I'm like, Cameron. So she talks to him. There isn't really any sort of like negative energy at all. I'm pretty sure he doesn't know what's going on. And the grandparents who can only speak their native language is just talking shit about Courtney. And they're like, and the grandpa's like, he's happy. Let him be happy. It's been a rough time for him. Like, let him be happy with her. So they got the okay from the Grams to like, you can date this girl, even though she technically was responsible for killing your dad. Whoops. And also the key thing we found out about Rick is that Rick heads back over to the forest spot where he found the footprint. He leaves 3 buckets of fried chicken. I'm just thinking, does this kid have a job? I don't think he has a job, and how can he afford all this fried chicken? And we know, yeah, he's feeding Grundy. He's taking care of Grundy, but for what reason? We don't know yet. We do not know quite just yet, and I believe that's everything that happens in terms of that. I believe. Is there anything else? Yeah, I know Beth technically is trying to fix her parents' marriage by forming this get together dinner. And I'm just thinking to myself, oh man, this is giving me such major flashback when I found out my parents were getting divorced. I'm like, damn, this takes me back. But for a brief moment, Beth did get excited that she hears her goggles reactivating. She hears the voice of the original Dr. Midnight, but it turns out he doesn't recognize her, and he shuts off the goggles. And that leaves Beth even more disappointed since everyone that's like getting close to her is starting to go away. So that really does suck with her. Back at the house, Courtney's still trying to do JSA stuff. She's trying, and she's like thinking about, okay, what about Cindy? She's still out there. We still need to, figure out what her end of the things is. But before she can figure more of that she hears a noise from the kitchen. She heads downstairs, and she finds another woman stealing the Green Lantern, which, if I'm aware, if George's history lessons has taught me anything, is that it is the tool that the Green Lanterns use to charge their rings. So she takes it. Courtney fights her in a pretty impressive house fight, even with this like darkened environment. It was actually pretty neat. And only having the staff actually being the only like light source, it was like, that was pretty cool. And it was just seeing like Courtney, who's I guess still a novice of being a super, like she's more well trained, but like she's still like getting used to things. Fighting this rookie, which I'm assuming she has the ring training, but she's holding her own fairly well, and even when she does take down Courtney, and it was just casually pat the mom and his son walk into the dining room like, what the hell is going on here? And I was actually surprised she did not run away, and also she does say like, I'm Green Lantern's daughter. I'm presuming his name is Alan Scott. I'm his daughter. I am the next Green Lantern. And that's where the episode ends. With just them looking at this. Oh, actually, no, not yet. Cindy is back. She heads back to the school, back for the ISA secret lair. And apparently, like I said last season, she's recruiting her own new junior ISA, the next generation. She knows Brainwave Junior is out because, well, I'm sorry, but he's dead. We have Icicle Junior. We have Artemis. We have the Piper, the Pet Pete Piper kid, the second one, like that kid who did something bad in the finale last season. Like, he does have a dark side, that guy. And surprisingly enough, she wants to recruit Pat Dugan's son to the team. And I'm just thinking to myself, what? Why are you gonna recruit him? He has no powers. He's sided with the good guy. What are you planning, Cindy? What are you planning? But we don't know just quite yet, because that's where the episode truly ends. So for me, this was, oh yeah, I almost forgot. We did get like that one scene where could be, maybe not, but still could be, Sylvester Pemberley is still continuing his drive through to go find Pat again, and he stops at a local road stop diner on the way there, and he asks one of the waitresses like, so do you still in contact with your ex-husband? And she's like, which one? And I'm like, oh my god, has she been around that much? I feel bad right now. I really do feel bad. So yeah, that was the other thing I forgot. I almost forgot about to include that in here. You see, I always forget stuff. But I think I did a pretty good recap, to be honest with you. But for me, I enjoyed this premiere so much. This definitely was like a very nice welcome, a very softer coming back into this world. It wasn't entirely too action-packed. It wasn't entirely too crazy. This was just the right amount of, getting back into this world, setting up these new stakes, where these characters' headspace are at. Months after the events of season 1, I was so happy with the way everything was done. I really was. I think my only critique of it would be, not really a critique. Actually, do I have a critique for this? I do not know. My only critique is that I think they're setting up too many storylines for season 2. I feel like the one thing I loved about season 1 was that everything was uniformed and connected somehow. There's a lot going on here when I kind of wrote myself into this corner where you have the next generation of the ISA. You have, obviously, Eclipso. You have every character dealing with their own personal struggles. There's just, I have a feeling there's just way, and also the Sylvester thing, like there's a lot to do this season. I'm just thinking, I really hope everything's balanced out, that it works at the end of the day, but we will not know until we reach the end of that point, which will be quite a while, hopefully. And I said that the last time when I did a review series, and we already ended it, so hopefully I won't be jinxed like that again. So for me, I give this episode 2 thumbs up. I really enjoyed it. I love this premiere so much. I can't wait to see what the remaining 12 episodes have to offer, and hopefully you'll be joining me along this ride as we begin this season of DC's Stargirl. So this has been What's in the 2 from ActionX, reviewing every episode in the second season of DC's Stargirl. If you want to know what we're doing overall on What's in the 2 besides our Stargirl reviews, we are currently doing Walker episode reviews each and every Friday mornings after a brand new episode, on Thursday nights on the CW, or free the next day on the CW app. We're also doing High School Musical, the series season 2 episode reviews each and every Saturday mornings after a brand new episode on Fridays on Disney+. Currently, that is wrapped up in terms of the main episode reviews. This Saturday, we have a special season 3 predictions video coming up, which will be predicting everything about season 3. So stay tuned for that. And also coming up this Monday, we are starting our brand new Heels episode reviews each and every that's going to be starting up. I was trying to start each and every Monday, and I'm like, yeah, that's not very well. It really isn't. That's going to start on, well, the show starts on Sunday. I still have to buy stars. Actually, I tried to get stars on my cable provider, and I just realized I don't have stars. And then I remember I was like, oh yeah, I didn't see Pennyworth either. So I'm like, fuck. I completely forgot about that. So I'll be starting up on Monday. I think I'm just going to do the Hulu method, I believe. I have to do some research on that, so I might be a little bit delayed on those reviews, so don't quote me there when we're a little bit more further ahead in the week. I'll get to that. Also, coming up this weekend, we are doing a Titans Season 3 First Impressions. We're going to be reviewing all 3 episodes of the 3 episodes that HBO Max is doing. It's also kind of stupid that HBO Max is doing this. Like, are they seriously doing all 3 episodes of Titans like at the drop and then doing week by week? And they're also going to put Doom Patrol side by side. Like, you're just basically blowing all your DC content in literally the fall. Spread it out, man. Spread it out. And I don't like it. I mean, we're still doing Doom Patrol season 3 episode reviews, so I'm like, I don't mind, but it's like, but okay, in the Sacred Titans, we're only doing the first 3 episode review. We're compiling that all into like one massive review recap, and hopefully it'll be the pilot for like a new review series coming up. Otherwise, we'll just do a season 3 review at the end of it. But anyway, I think that's everything. That's a lot. It's a lot to do. It's gonna be a jam-packed week, and I'm gonna be so happy about doing it. But again, if you want to hear about Stargirl, you're in luck. We'll be back next week with another episode review. We'll be back each and every Wednesday mornings for your convenience. But again, this has been What's Up 2 from ActionX, reviewing every episode of Stargirl. If you want to see more of us, please subscribe to ActionX on youtube.com/ActionX videos. Ring that bell for notification when our next review is live, which again normally is every Wednesday morning. And yes, I will be wearing this mask each and every Wednesday morning. Ow. Like, ever share this review if you want to, but it helps us get us out there to other members of, damn, what was the fucking thing I used last season? What was the moniker I used last season? Was it Stargirls? I was just say Stargirl. I have to watch my old videos. For all the Stargirls who have yet to discover us, damn, I forgot. That thing screwed up my rigmarole. Oh yeah, follow. Sharing's free on YouTube. I'm sorry, I really screwed up this rigmarole. That whole Stargirl thing threw me off there for a curve. And also follow us on social media, including our brand new Instagram page. So stay tuned for that. And for all you Stargirls out there, I'll see y'all next week for the next episode review. It's gonna be a long 15 weeks. So it's gonna be a long 4 months. We're going for the long haul. So strap in. I missed this round. I miss it. But again, stay safe out there. Be good to each other. And as always, peace out.